here are our scores for The Mandalorian and Grogu out of 10, the film. 3, 2, 1. On to our review of The Mandalorian and Grogu. This will be absolutely no spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler-free.
Our spoiler review will be on our Patreon episode this Friday, but then don't worry, for those of you that are not patrons, our spoiler review will be attached to our next week's episode. We just refuse to do spoilers before the movie comes out.
4 days early.
Yeah.
No,
we're not doing that. So that's the plan. That's the play. Here are our scores for The Mandalorian and Grogu out of 10, the film. 3, 2, 1.
7?
7 out of 10. I agree.
Yep.
Despite the fact that I gave Send Help a 9 out of 10, gave Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die an 8 out of 10, Mandalorian Grogu is my favorite movie of the year. I don't care.
I'm not saying that. But I do agree with you. I have some other movies ranked a little bit higher, but on my list of the year, Mandalorian and Grogu will be higher than some of them.
Sorry.
Like, it's gonna be over Sin Help, even though I might give Sin Help like an 8.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sorry. Watching Star Wars on the big screen in IMAX, that'll do it for me. It's my favorite franchise. It always has been my favorite franchise. And I'm not afraid to acknowledge that the movie isn't perfect.
It's definitely not perfect.
I'm ready to share my honest criticisms during this review. But I'd also be being extremely dishonest if I said that my experience watching The Mandalorian and Grogu last night wasn't the best time I had in a theater in 2026.
It's not perfect, but it's fun.
Yep.
It definitely feels like a few episodes of the TV show kind of put together.
I agree.
And that means that there are some positives and some negatives as a result of that. You want to do positives first? You want to do positives first?
We can do positives first. What's your biggest positive?
I was going in expecting an 8 out of 10. So, maybe I was just a little bit higher on it. I wasn't letting all the negativity beforehand bring me down. So it was a little bit lower than I was expecting. But I still had a good time with it. So if you like the show, there are definitely things in this movie that you'll like. Because I know some people were worried about that. Like, it does feel like a few episodes of the show put together. But that brings out some positives. So, the main one, it's a Mandalorian and Grogu movie. So if you like them, you get
Love
them.
it.
You get Mando's awesome action and aura and presence and everything. You get Grogu being cute little baby Yoda. You get their back and forth. You get their relationship, him being a dad, him being the baby. Like, you get all that. That's wholesome relationship. You get that throughout the movie, and it's fun. So, that's my first positive, is what made the show popular is
very much in here.
Yeah, they don't shy away from it.
Ludwig's score is a 10 out of 10.
Yep, have that written down.
The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yep,
It is unbelievable. I want to say something negative about Ludwig Van Gorenson, because Ludwig Göransson, excuse me, he's a legend. I shouldn't be doing this.
Just call him Ludwig.
Ludwig.
We're on a first name basis.
You're a goat. Come on the show. But the thing with Ludwig is I'm getting a little concerned because he is so good. He did such a great job. Obviously won the Oscar for Oppenheimer, won an Oscar for Sinners. I don't know if you know this. He won an Oscar for Black Panther. He has 3 Oscars, which matches John Williams' 3 Oscars.
Okay, let's calm down.
Thank you so much. Because not only did Ludwig do this score, which is the best score I've heard in a movie this year, but he's also doing the score for The Odyssey.
Oh my gosh.
That could easily win best score.
Yeah.
And so my concern is Ludwig having more Oscars than John Williams this early in his career is stressing me out, ladies and gentlemen.
John Williams only has 3 Oscars? That seems like the most egregious thing I've ever heard in my life.
I know, but they only gave him Star Wars the first time. They should have given it to him.
He's got 5.
John Williams? Not for score.
He's got 4 for score: Jaws, New Hope, E.T., and Schindler's List.
Huh.
And then he's got 1 for best scoring, adaptation, and original song score for Fiddler on the Roof in 1971. But he's had 54 nominations. Go F yourself, Academy. Give this man some more Oscars. Maybe this is wrong.
Is that AI? It's the AI overview.
No, Wikipedia says it.
Okay. No, then I'm wrong. Lovely. All right, I'm thrilled to hear that. Never mind.
Where'd you get the number 3?
Throw that whole... I didn't know he won for E.T. I thought it was just Schindler's, Jaws and Star Wars. How crazy that he didn't win for Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's...
How disgusting is that?
Oh, that's gross. That's gross. Yeah, he's got 54. He's 94.
I know.
I don't like that.
I know. He recently did like a concert appearance and they wheeled him out in a wheelchair and I got really sad.
He has the record for most number of Oscar nominations in the Best Musical Score category.
Yes, and he'll have that forever. But
with 43. Yeah. All right. Yeah, 5 wins. Okay.
Back to Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah,
Ludwig's
score's great.
score is a 10 out of 10. It's unbelievable because it's so distinct, it's so unique, it's unlike any other Star Wars score, but it is still so John Williams inspired. It feels so right in the universe.
And it's so Mandalorian. Like, you know, obviously it's the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do is very popular, but you get that throughout the movie in different ways.
Yep.
You know, there's like a softer version when that's happening, but when there's action, you get the aura, you know, he's walking down the thing and it's nice and loud. So that is kind of the DNA of the soundtrack throughout, but it changes, and it's really cool. Another positive for Mandalorian and Grogu, the side characters are good. We don't get them enough, I don't think, but you know, Zeb Orrelios is the pilot.
Zeb, he's from Rebels.
Yeah, so he was a good addition. Rada the Hutt, am I saying that right?
Yep.
He had an interesting dynamic with his family and with the movie that I didn't really see coming, that I kind of liked. Martin Scorsese's little street vendor character was interesting. Sigourney Weaver, she's great whenever she's on screen.
Absolutely.
And finally, obviously, the Anzellans, which are the little Babu Frick guys, they stole, you know, the scene every time they were on screen.
They're hilarious.
The funniest moments in the movie are all of them. There were multiple moments where I was like prolonged laughter because they're just, I mean, just the way they talk is just funny.
They're very funny.
Yeah, the Anzellans were great.
I don't know if this goes for like, it's like a positive. I don't really have too many more positives about the movie when I can't get into spoilers. You know what I'm saying? And I really want to go really vague here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say anything else. But these are positives. I think that the Mandalorian and Grogu movie will be wildly popular with women.
Yes.
Every woman that we saw this movie with, talked to after the movie, adored it. Like 10 out of 10s across the board.
Yeah.
It's just, Jon Favreau, I think, does have a talent for this, because I know you and I are lower on Elf. Elf is wildly popular with women. I think Jon Favreau may have a knack with just making films that are women friendly. Kind of, we talked to Robert Kirkman about it a couple episodes ago. He said, you know, we have a lot of women working on Invincible. That may be why it's so popular with women. I'm just saying, like, Mandalorian Grogu does feel like the first Star Wars movie that, like, leans towards it. It does feel like it's almost more women made than men. Like, honestly, I know that might be crazy to say because it's a Star Wars movie with X-Wings and a Razor Crest and the Hutts and Mando and Grogu uses the Force. It's so boy-coded, but everything in it is very girl. And I'm not saying that as a negative at all. I think that's a great positive.
Yeah.
But
the girls definitely liked it when we were talking to them last night.
Loved it more than all the guys.
Yeah.
For sure. So I feel that way. And then it also does feel, again, I don't want to say this is a negative. Some people will take this as a negative, and some people will be disappointed by this. But the Mandalorian Grogu movie is very much a kid's movie. Very, very much a kid's movie. It's made for kids. It's for the kids.
Yeah.
It's younger. It's one of the, I don't want to spoil anything, but like the violence, it's definitely toned down even compared to the Mandalorian TV show, and especially compared to a lot of Star Wars movies, right? There's a lot of Star Wars movies with dismemberments and political meetings and manipulation and this and that. Not too much of that in Mandalorian and Grogu. You know, it is a very, I don't think it got a PG rating, but it does feel like it could have gotten a PG rating.
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people are going to be furious about that. But this isn't, I hate talking like this, but then this isn't a little bit for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, if that's what you really, really, really wanted, you know?
Or needed, yeah.
Yeah. I've got one major thing to talk about after this, and then I'm done. But so what do you got?
I got a couple more positives.
Yeah, please.
Imbo is Aura. I know I've mentioned Aura a couple times already.
Big time.
But there were
big time.
I mean, the movie, do you think the movie looks good?
There are phenomenal shots in The Mandalorian and Grogu. There are also not good shots in The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Some of the wonderful shots are of Imbo. Like the first 5 minutes he's really on screen, there are like 3 different shots of him where I'm like, what?
Yep.
Like, the rain's coming down and then a light from his ship and his hat and he's standing there like,
Yep.
So he's great. And I like his fighting with his hat and everything.
Yep.
And then obviously I liked the action. We just kind of talked about it in the Punisher, so I don't want to. It's very Mandalorian. He's using his gadget. He's got the fire. He's got the the little grappling hook thing. He's got his blasters. Very John Wick-esque as well, where he walks into a room of 20 people and it's him versus 20 people, and that's fun. The opening is fun. I think it starts off the movie with a bang. You get thrown into the action kind of immediately. I think my personal favorite, again, no spoilers, you kind of see it in the trailers, the gladiator ring sequence. Not going to go into any more spoilers there, but, some of the designs of things were great, and that was probably my favorite action of the movie. And it was definitely the most unique. A lot of the other action scenes, you're using blasters and, we're shooting at stormtroopers or whatever, and you've got droids, and it's, you've got some spaceship flights, and that's all very Star Wars, but the gladiator fight seemed to be the most unique to this movie, other than, are you going to say what, Attack of the Clones?
No, continue.
So that's why I like that one.
I want to say this, and I don't want to get into this too much because we can't talk about it because we're not spoiling anything, but I completely vehemently disagree with two of the things you just said.
Okay.
I disagree with you on the gladiator scene. I understand some of your points, but I disagree with it. And I do disagree with you saying that the action was a big positive for you. I understand that with the opening, but I think after the opening, there is a choice made that we will get into when we review this spoiler-wise that really ruined the action for me for most of the movie.
I have zero idea what you're talking about.
We're going to cut what I'm about to say.
No.
Okay.
We'll just do it in spoilers.
All right.
No?
Damn. Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
no, go ahead.
No. We'll talk about it then.
Okay.
It'll build up. You'll anticipate what I have to say.
All right. Negatives.
Yeah. I mean, not much that I can't. There's not much that I can say without spoiling it. Here's something. It's a major pacing issue in The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yes.
But it comes from exactly what you said. It is 3 episodes of the show attached to one another.
Yes.
It does feel a little bit like there are clear beginning and ends to episodes. And then it's like, here's the episode, and I should be waiting for it till next week. Oh, but I'm not.
Yes, I'm just waiting for a whip transition or a crossfade. The first third half of the movie is very clearly this.
Yep.
And then we go to this. And
now we're going to set up for this thing.
And then they're still connected. We're not saying they're not connected, but
it's a 3-episode arc.
Yeah. So that kind of made it feel a little choppy in ways. What else?
That's my biggest negative.
Mine is, it kind of comes from that, but in Mandalorian and Grogu, again, really enjoyed it, but my main negative, if I'm not doing spoilers, it's overall pretty emotionless.
Whew. I understand why you're saying that, and I disagree with you.
Okay, well, we can't talk about it in spoilers, but I think there were maybe 2 moments where I was like, oh, I actually really care right now. And then other than that,
I think that it could have been punchier. I will give you that.
Again, no spoilers, but when Rada was kind of talking about himself.
Sure.
I cared about that.
Oh, interesting. I think that could have been better.
It definitely could have been better.
Yeah.
But I still found that one of the most interesting and compelling things in the movie.
What was the movie this year that we were like, oh, that could have been better emotionally? Oh, Hoppers. We felt that the relationship with the grandmother was done
good.
Well, but it could have been so much better and made you cry 10 times more if you just did it a tad better. Mando, to me, has a lot of that.
Yeah, I agree.
Where it's like, I care for this, but I could care a lot more.
So that was one moment when Rada was talking, and then the other moment was when we finally see the antagonists, how evil they are. That scene where they're like, look over here, see who we have over here. And then I kind of cared in that scene because I was like, oh, now I really want, now I care that Mando is and at odds with them because I want him to win. I cared even more then. Does that make sense?
That was my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Right there. So I'm agreeing with you completely there. But you know what? I don't want to say this. like, I don't want to say this because I feel bad saying this, but like, my score might lower just talking about the movie out loud a little bit.
Well, we're going to see it again on Monday.
I can't wait to see it again. But like,
maybe we do our spoiler review after that.
Yeah, it's just, listen to me here. Like, there's a certain level of, in the TV show, The Mandalorian, you care so deeply about Mando and you care so deeply about Grogu. And there are many, many times where each of them, one of them or both of them are in danger, right? And I feel like episode 6 of The Mandalorian is a great example of this, where I felt such fear for both Mando and Grogu in episode 6 of season 1 of The Mandalorian. And that's the prison break episode that you and I both love. My favorite episode of the show. I believe you agree. There's such fear. Like, there's real fear that the bounty hunter droid is going to kill Grogu in that episode. I don't know if I was ever that stressed.
No.
For these characters in this movie.
Yeah. My next point about it being kind of emotionless was, other than those couple scenes, the stakes,
they're low.
They are not high. Like we said, it's kind of sectioned up. The first section, the entire stake is just a kind of run-of-the-mill mission for the rebellion. Like, there's no, like, they're not going to die. Like, we don't really care about anyone involved. It's just he's doing, like, a normal, like, bounty hunter kind of mission, which is entertaining, but it was entertaining, but not really rich emotionally. And then there were some other potentially emotional moments that I felt were very predictable that didn't get me. And this is kind of, some of the ladies afterwards were coming up to me. They were like, I was crying at this part. I was like, I wasn't. I knew exactly what was going to happen, so I didn't care. So I just kind of felt like I knew what was going to happen, especially in like the third act. You kind of know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So yeah, I just, nothing, at no point was I super excited. Well, there were times, but there were definitely no moments where I was like super scared or super emotional or sad because of some of the ways it was handled. Question about Mandalorian and Grogu: do you think it would be more warmly accepted in some ways, or some of the problems that we and some people in the audience have wouldn't be present if this movie came out like a year after season 2, or a lot earlier? Because I think, while Mandalorian and Grogu is great, it's one of the best things Star Wars has ever given us, in my opinion. I think it's great. The Mandalorian and Grogu relationship and like kind of shtick, we've had 3 seasons of it. A lot of people don't like season 3 as much, so it kind of dipped there. And then we waited years, and then we're getting a movie. I feel like if this was during the hype of like, this is novel, and we're getting Mandalorian and Grogu kind of for the first couple of years, and then this movie came out, I just think a lot of people would give this movie a higher rating.
Even if it was the exact same movie as is.
Yep.
You think the appeal of, well, let's be honest with ourselves. We're talking about Grogu here. You think that the novelty and appeal of Grogu has worn off with general audiences a bit?
Yes and no. I'm more talking about the general structure of what makes the show, even Mandalorian, like even Din Djarin. I think they still keep Grogu cute in this movie. I don't think they overplay it too much, even though
I couldn't believe how much I was awing.
Yeah. Like they're still able to do that.
They still got it.
Yeah.
Because Grogu's the GOAT. Like, it is, that puppet, by the way.
Yes.
Very little CGI. It's one of the most, like, a marvel of modern movie making technology. Is
every time he walks,
the Grogu puppet.
It's cute.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I bowed with one at the premiere. Like, just the way they're able to make it move. It's the cutest thing you could possibly ever make. It is. This is interesting. This is an interesting question for you to have posed. I don't think so.
I think so.
You think it would have been rated higher even if it was this exact same film?
Yeah.
But I don't think that way because season 3 was not adored.
Sure.
You didn't watch season 3. Mm-mm. Season 3 is a lot of this. And season 3 is way worse than the movie. Yeah. I want to make that clear. Mandalorian and Grogu, the movie, is way better than season 3 of that show. But So I disagree because that season was, now maybe it was like, I don't want to say it was so bad because I still did enjoy it a little bit. I would give it like a 5 or a 6, but I don't know. Maybe
I don't, it was just something I was thinking. I was like, I just kind of, I was sitting there watching it, or maybe right after, and I was like, oh, I imagine we watched this
like 3 years ago,
3 or 4 years ago.
Like, did this miss its window? That's what you're asking.
A little bit. Like I still think Mandalorian Grogu is great. I'm still glad this movie exists. Like I still enjoyed it. Everyone should go watch it, especially on IMAX. Looked a lot of fun. But I did imagine, I was just like, oh, what if this was like during the swell of the show a little bit more? I think maybe some things wouldn't have bothered me as much, or people wouldn't have been coming into it as negatively. Just a thought I had.
It's interesting.
Anything else?
Yeah. I have one major thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
I can't wait to hear your opinion.
Okay.
Biggest thing I want to say about Mandalorian Grogu.
Can't wait to give it.
I think it's a really good entry point project for Star Wars.
Yeah. For a lot of people.
I think that Mandalorian and Grogu the movie can be, will be, and should be the first watch for many new Star Wars fans. I am very strict with my watch order for Star Wars. I have always been very strict. I always say, if you watch it episodically, you watch it release order. You fall in love with Star Wars, you show a person Star Wars the way that the world was shown Star Wars. That's what made it so popular, because A New Hope is one of the greatest films ever made. It's my personal favorite movie of all time. So I always say that. But I have always said, you can start somebody with The Mandalorian, the show. Mm-hmm. You can start somebody with The Mandalorian, the show, no question. I have no problem with that. If you're doing episodic films, do not show them Phantom Menace first.
Correct.
Show them A New Hope first. But if you're starting somebody with Star Wars and it's a girl that really wants to see Baby Yoda, you can do Mandalorian for sure.
Yeah.
I think the movie may be a better entry point than the show. I think the movie is such a good entry point for Star Wars. And so it's got a lot of the charm of just the franchise as a whole.
Yes.
It's a movie. Star Wars is and always should be a movie-focused franchise. And I don't think you need to watch the Mandalorian TV show to watch and enjoy the Mandalorian and Grogu film.
Yeah. I mean, I think season 1 kind of establishes them so well and kind of shows how Grogu changes Mando and stuff. So, yeah, but I agree with you. I think Mandalorian and Grogu is a great entry point. Number 1, because it does, like you said, it has a lot of charm and feel of Star Wars. You get X-Wings, you get, basically rebels, on a base and fighting the Empire. You get stormtroopers. You get a lot of this classic Star Warsy type stuff: blasters, creatures, huts,
speeders, ships,
droids,
hyperspace.
Yeah,
droids, great.
So you get a lot of that. So, but at the same time, another reason why it's a good entry point is you don't need to know a lot of the lore. Mm-hmm. It's not lore heavy. You don't need to know who Darth Vader is and where Anakin Skywalker came from and what Tatooine is and all of that. It's self-contained enough while still feeling like Star Wars.
Correct.
And then the third point is, yes, it's just fun. So if someone wants to see some Star Wars action or wants to see cute little baby Grogu and see that charm of it as well, you get that without having to delve into some of the deeper stuff that comes with genocides and New Hope blowing up planets, or kissing your sister, stuff like that. I don't know. So no, I definitely agree. So as long as you don't do the prequels or sequels, to start. Yes.
To start somebody.
Yes, correct.
Agreed. So hear me out here. You show a new Star Wars fan, somebody that's never seen Star Wars before, you show them the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. If they love it, you could turn to them and be like, hey, you loved this. Let's go back and watch the show. Can you imagine? Because season 1 and season 2 of The Mandalorian are 2 of the best seasons of Star Wars television ever. They're 2 of the best Star Wars projects ever, no question about it. They're both top 10.
Yep.
Can you imagine how much better season 1 and season 2 would be if you started with Mandalorian and Grogu? Because we're kind of shitting all over Mandalorian and Grogu. I feel a little bit bad because I do really, really love this movie. It's not the best movie written-wise that I've ever seen. Far from it. But God, season 1 and season 2 of The Mandalorian are better than the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And so I'm thinking you start somebody with the movie and then they go back and watch season 1 and you're like, well, this is the origin. You can see like how they met and everything. Oh my gosh, can you imagine watching like those first 3 episodes of The Mandalorian? You watch episode 6 of The Mandalorian, you're like, oh my gosh, this is peak.
Yeah.
This is peak. So that I think is super appealing. And then people are going to love that I'm fucking saying this. Now you're watching Star Wars in a very similar way of how George Lucas intended for people to watch Star Wars, how he made the films. He made the original trilogy from 1977 to 1983. But then from 1999 to 2005, he made the prequels for fans to learn what happened to the older characters in the original trilogy and how they got to where they were when we first met them. If you watch Mandalorian and Grogu the movie, and then you go back and watch the Mandalorian TV show, you're watching Star Wars that exact same way. I think, and I think many people will think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. I think Mandalorian and Grogu can kind of be, it's a little appetizer into the Star Wars universe. I think it's before you get into the main meal. Maybe, it's like one of those samples you get at like a food court, and then you can decide whether you want to eat the whole meal or not. And if someone likes the little sample appetizer that you gave them, then you can start with New Hope and move on. Again, I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people will be split on this. I think there's definitive things to like. I think there's definitive things not to like, and it kind of just depends on who you are personally, what means the most to you, and what you're hoping to get out of it. But again, we talked to some people last night who were like, "This was peak. It's my favorite thing of the year," And then some people, I don't think anyone came out of it and was like, "That was terrible." So if you're a Star Wars fan, or even if you're not Star Wars fan, go watch Mandalorian and Grogu. I enjoyed it. Not my favorite movie of the year, but a lot of positives in there.
I loved it. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Like, even though I'm fully aware that it's like not the best movie. By the way, this is how I talk about Revenge of the Sith. This is how I talk about Return of the Jedi. This is how I talk about all these movies I get so much hate for hating on. I love Revenge of the Sith. My favorite scene in all of Star Wars is from Revenge of the Sith. I love Return of the Jedi. I just they're not great movies. And I think we have to be honest about them. As we were just honest about this review of The Mandalorian and Grogu, it's my favorite movie of the year. In the same way that if I saw Revenge of the Sith this week and it was a new movie, it'd be my favorite movie of the year, despite all of the shit I've said about it. I love Star Wars so much. Oh my gosh, we got to do Star Wars movie. You and I are reviewing on this set, on the Escape Pod podcast, we're reviewing a new Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I had so much fun. It's Star Wars. Go watch it.
Oh my gosh.
I liked it.
And we will. I mean, I didn't talk too much, neither negatives or positives. I tried to be very general. I tried to not say spoilers. I said something that I felt was too spoilery, so I asked you to cut it. In the spoiler review, I'm going to go in detail because there's shit that I fucking loved that I just can't talk about.
Yeah.
And there are more specifics I can go into with the pacing issues I had and whatever, but I loved some stuff that I can't just talk about. So don't get me wrong. I loved this movie. Loved it. How would you rank it among Star Wars movies?
Yeah, so I was thinking through that. Let me pull up my Letterboxd. Obviously, it's not cracking the top 5.
No.
Empire, New Hope.
Yep.
Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens for me is probably in my top 5, and then I think Rogue One is probably going to start coming in right about there.
Sure.
I can tell you, it definitely beats Last Jedi, definitely beats Rise of Skywalker, beats Solo, and then the question is, does it beat
Attack of the Clones or Phantom Menace?
Right, because Phantom Menace has
Darth Maul,
which is freaking awesome, but then it has the rest of the movie, so it's kind of right in there. It's above, probably above those. It's definitely below the top 5.
To me, it's probably my favorite of the non-episodics. I know that so many people are going to have a problem with me saying that, but ladies and gentlemen, let's remember I have always been lower on Rogue One than everybody else. So I know that may be blasphemy to so many people for me to say I like Mandalorian and Grogu more than Rogue One, but I am lower on Rogue One. And I definitely like it better than Solo, as you said. But I like Solo better than Rogue One as well. So what do we got? You pulled up your list? And
I don't have a Letterboxd list of my Star Wars movies. I guess I will be doing that today. Go follow us.
Unbelievable. We know that you
Haggai? No, Alex Azor.
Woofella. Oh, I think I can change mine to Haggai Solo. Let me try and do that.
Yeah, someone's already taken it.
That'd be funny.
Imagine.
Yeah, I just look. I love what you said before I cut you off and asked you where you rank them. I love what you said about. I'm so interested to see how fans react to this movie because I think general audiences are going to adore this thing.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very split. I don't think it will be a general consensus either way. I don't think the majority of people are going to hate this movie. I don't think the majority of the people are going to absolutely love and adore this movie. I think most people will kind of be where we are, where we enjoyed it, but we recognize that, there's some stuff.
I wonder how much this is going to do for the toy business. Like, will this sell a shit ton of toys? Like we said in our review, I think that this is a kids movie, but will it be popular among kids? Like, there's all these questions I have. I'm so interested to see the fallout. I really don't want this movie to flop. We need Star Wars back in theaters, man.
Yeah, go see it.
Need it. Go see it, please.